Hey, this is Matt once again coming at you with another video, another paid request, this time for Thompson. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. I do have a Cash App as well, because people have asked about that. Links are down below in the info box, and I'll get to it as soon as I can. It will be for pretty much any type of review of any type of movie or something else entirely. Topic, reaction, commentary, re-review, video game playthrough, full, whatever the case may be, I'll get to as soon as I can. And Jack Thompson requested me to watch this film called Life After Fighting, which I had never heard of before, never heard anyone talk about the film, never heard anyone bring up the film, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be one of those like crappy direct-to-video films. And it is direct-to-video. So the look is not going to be, oh my god, the cinematography, this streams, it should have gone to theaters. No. It's an independent film. But I gotta say, while I do have critiques about the film, number one, I do think the film is a bit too long. It's a little over 2 hours. I think there's stuff in the middle portion that could be cut out. A good, I would say, at least 10 minutes or so could be cut out in the middle. This was a pleasant surprise and literally is one of my favorite films of the year. As a guy that loves action films, that love this kind of action film, I was really impressed. Because Bren Foster, who is the director of the film, he's the writer of the film, I think he had done a couple direct-to-video Steven Seagal films where he was able to show a little bit of his physicality, but he had to use, I think, an American accent because he's Australian. And it's a Steven Seagal film, so he's not going to be allowed to do a whole lot. This was obviously a passion project for him to really show his skills. And while there's not a lot of action in the first half, there's some good stuff, but the third act, there is 25 minutes of ass-kicking fury that had put a smile on my face that I have not had on my face for a long time. A long time. The way the fights are done, how brutal and gory it gets at times, that impressed me, and I don't know if it's my favorite film of the year, but those 25 minutes is my favorite section of a movie in the whole year so far. It really is. And that's the thing. If you have a long enough film and you're building it up, you gotta deliver to the audience. And in my opinion, this did that. And I was fairly satisfied with it. Now, Bren Foster, I actually thought he did a good job acting-wise. Maybe with it because it's his natural Australian accent. He was likable. The dramatic scenes were, he did fine. There's a bit of a love story he has with this girl. The character's name is Samantha. They had a good chemistry with each other. I will say this, and I know there's big words to say. If Bren Foster gets the right people, or he continues to make films himself like this, he could be the next Scott Adkins. I really do feel that way. He could be the next Scott Adkins. Now, maybe that's an insult because they don't want to be the next one. They want to be their own individual. I get that. But I mean, like, how Scott Adkins is going to be the next Van Damme. And he kind of did become that because I like a lot of Scott Adkins films. One Shot, Ninja Shadow of a Tear, Accident Man 1 and 2, among other films. I hope this guy gets more work where people give him a lead and give him the opportunity and the control of the fight scenes and stuff of that nature. I can just work on the editing. The editing could use work. Again, in the middle section in particular, but I did not realize he was the voice of Mad Max in the video game, apparently, this guy. Because I looked up his credits, I'm like, I never played the Mad Max video game, to be fair. But yeah, this guy voiced Mad Max in the video game. I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. But he's a former champion who works at a martial arts school. And there's a lot of good scenes where he's teaching the students how to fight. And this guy knows what he's doing. And this, I know it sounds crazy. This reminds me, like, the last Kumite came out. Was it this year? I can't remember already. Oh, we're going to be this ode to 80s. I didn't really feel that way. With the way the fights were and the lead guy. This felt like more of a love letter to the 90s action film. Perfect? No. Is as good as The Perfect Weapon, Showdown Little Tokyo? No. But I just meant in spirit, this felt like, again, if you edit a bit, a 90s movie. In terms of its simple story, pretty straightforward, the kinetic action scenes, the brutality, I could feel that in this, which I think is a good thing. And it's much more of a love letter. This is much more of a love letter than, like, the last Kumite got all this buzz. This film should have gotten that buzz. This film is if you're a fan of martial arts, you should watch, in my opinion. But I like the lead guy. He does a really good job. He's teaching students. You get to see students kind of training, which reminds me, like, you would see that back in the day when someone had a martial arts school. You see a bit of that. He would give advice like, it's okay to lose, but it's not okay to lose to your fear. You know, you teach he's given to his students. You get a little bit of backstory about how he retired because of a possible injury, and he kind of threw his last fight. There's this new guy coming up the ranks, wanting to face him, calls him a coward. He meets this lady Samantha, and her kid Terry. Because Samantha and her kid Terry wants to join up. He's like, okay, yeah, we could take you. And Samantha wants private lessons. And I thought, like, it's doing a build-up because it's trying to build up the characters to maybe give a crap. I thought they did a fairly decent job because I thought the guy who played Alex, the lead, Brent Foster, and the lady who played Samantha, I thought they worked well together. They had chemistry with each other. That first third of the film moved pretty well-paced, pretty quickly. And then Samantha has this ex who's a total creep, touching her face. He's a guy that you tell he's a bad guy. You tell he's a total creep. The lead guy goes out with the girl because she asked first. He's like, no, I can't. It was, he's not her boss, but still, like, you're paying me to teach you, and I don't know if that'd be appropriate. But he's like, no, you know what? Let's go out. And thankfully, it doesn't hone in on it too long, like 20 minutes, and long enough for me to give a crap. And then the lead guy, one of the guy's buddies come up and goes, hey, I got a friend that wants to kick your ass, pretty much. And he beats the guy up pretty succinctly, I'll put it that way. And this the way this guy moves. He moves so quick. He's strong. He's got great kicks. Now, he does do some grappling in one scene. But for the most part, it's like big punches, big kicks. Like stuff you would see back in the day, which was nice. It was nice. The drama between the lead and the girl, it was good. I like the scenes where he's teaching classes and you see that environment. It just felt refreshing because that's something you would see like every other day back in the 90s in action films. Not nowadays. I can't remember the last time I saw a movie that was in a martial arts school. I'm sure there was, but I can't think of the last time I saw that. So it's nostalgic, but it's not trying to force nostalgic in your face like that to be that so much so it feels fake. I don't know if that makes sense. And then he's teaching kids, and then two people come in who want to cause a bit of trouble. And Alex tits this guy, one guy's ass pretty well, and great choreography. There's a little bit of shading, but if it was fine because it's not this. It's like a little bit, but it's far enough away, and it doesn't cut quick because these guys know what they're doing. It's like, okay, it's a little bit handheld, so you can move with us, but we keep it wide enough and far enough back so we can see us do our moves in an effective manner. I don't know if the Flying Ninja 1 has seen this, or if my friend Effrey has seen this. Again, maybe the pacing they'd be bugging with, but I can understand that because that's one of my few issues with the film. But, like I said, I think the actors do a good job. I think it is an independent film, so it's not the biggest budget, but, the story wasn't too bad. Because then what happens is, he takes care of at least one of these guys. At one point later in the film, the lead guy's assistant, the girl that works with him, one of her kids as well as another kid are taken. And then you find out there's a bit of child trafficking. Now, after that, the movie slows down a bit, where it's trying to get a bit more drama, where the girl whose kid is missing, she's depressed and she got to be taken to the hospital, and it'll do these kind of random things like 1 week later and then 2 weeks later that feel, I don't know, they feel like could have been implemented a bit more with a flow to it. Like I said, I think there's sections in here that could be taken out and snipped. Like, shorten this scene a bit, shorten that scene a bit, make it go a bit quicker. Now, there is the subplot with the guy that wants to challenge him. In all fairness, you could have taken that entire plot out. It would not have mattered. Because it doesn't really have anything to do with the rest of the movie. The reason I would not do that is because I kind of like, number one, the guy arrives, but it's kind of like a Rocky 3, at the end of Rocky 3, where it's not bad guys, it's just this guy wants to test how good he is. And maybe for the other guy, Brent Foster's, for him to get out, let out some steam of what's going on. And they have a great fight. That involves a bit grapples and knees and kicks. And just a very well done fight scene. I'll put it that way. Very well done fight scene. Lengthy. It's not too short. One thing leads to another. He's able to find out where the kids are at. Rescues the kids. The bad guys have an ultimatum. The good guy says, well, let's have a trade at this school, my martial arts school. And then the next 25 minutes, which I'm not going... Okay, I will give away stuff, but I will say, I liked the film before it. I'm like, okay, I'm liking this film. This is like a 3, maybe 3.5 out of 4, out of 5. Out of 5 stars, like 3.5. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Maybe it's a 3. I'm liking it. Again, to repeat, I know I repeat myself all the time. I like Brent Foster. I like the girl that plays Samantha. I like the few fight scenes. I guess probably at this point be like 3 fight scenes. And then we're like, over an hour and change it to the movie. So it's not like a ton of action. But I said I didn't mind the drama. I didn't mind the acting. His heart was in the right place, if that made sense. At least that's how I felt. The pacing, one of my few issues. Maybe 1 or 2 more fights would have been nice to see in that first half. But then when the bad guys get to the school, and it literally is like, I'm looking at the running time, I'm like, damn, it's like 10 minutes in. Now we're 15 minutes. Now we're 20 minutes in. Holy shit, 25 minutes. Where he's kicking this guy's ass, kicking this guy's ass, and then some of them get back up, and he kissed their ass even more, and it's even more brutal, and I'm like, holy shit, just how fast and how quick and how well choreographed, and it's just like, man, you want to remind me of at least those 25 minutes. Broken Fist, also known as Broken Path. Now, granted, that film I would put above this because the entire movie is that pretty much, which like the entire movie is like constant fight scenes, which is insane, but I love it. But the way that choreography and a little bit of brutality I felt in this. And I'll say this, if you're interested in seeing the film, if you ever checked it out, stop right now. Don't watch trailers. Because trailers, they give everything away, trailers. They always do. They always give everything away. I didn't see the trailer for this. I went in blind. I think that was for the benefit. I would say watch it and stick with it at least until that section. I really do. If you're a big fan of action movies, martial arts films, I know I'm hyping up a bit too much, but still, I just was really, really impressed by this. It just felt refreshing to feel that way. So spoilers starting now. Spoilers. 3, 2, 1 spoilers. Man, like I say, he rescues the kids, brings them back to the school. But the girl he likes, Samantha, her kid is with the bad guy. Let's have this change. But the bad guy's trying to get the kids. And he's like beating these 3 guys' asses. And then there's a stairwell with a knife. And he beats his ass. And bounces his head against the wall. And then the guy falls. The guy lands. His neck lands on the knife. This guy's trying to get through the doorknob, and the lead guy's beating the shit out of him and takes the doorknob and stabs the hell out of him with the damn doorknob. He's kicking people, and they're flying through glass. He grabs a guy, and it feels like, not only he grabs him, but he does like squeezes his neck and does like a damn choke slam on the guy. There's this big guy he's beating the shit out of and grabs him. There's broken glass, puts his neck on the glass, goes... It just rips the guy's fucking neck with the glass. And you see a practical effect of the... It's like, oh shit, this is a practical effect where his neck got really fucked up by the glass. It was brutal. And there's a guy that gets back up, but he's so tired, he fucking, like, elbows the guy. Like, to the point that when the guy falls, there's a shot... The guy elbowed his fucking brains out. You see he's dead. And the brains, like the hat's covered, but the brains are leaking out of his fucking head. That's how much he elbowed the guy. He elbowed his brains out. There's a guy he stabs the hell out of. There's this one guy, he does he fights, then he does a stiff fight. And kills his ass. Now, granted, yes, the main bad guy, I wish he would have beat the shit out of him, to be honest. Granted, he'd be no challenge, but still, it'd be nice to just get he deserves it. But he pretty much takes the guy's gun, the guy's like, no, takes it right under the guy's chin, blows the guy's brains out. He's bloodied up, and then later on, there's a welcome back celebration from people. His martial arts school opens back up, and then the movie's over. Like I say, while it does have some issues, the fact that, like I said, the lead guy was actually pretty capable in the acting department and definitely capable in the action department. The fact that, it was such a welcome surprise, so maybe that exhilaration really got me into such higher moods to be more lenient than I would have been with other movies. I was just really... That's why I went like from 3 stars to 4 stars, because I'm like, okay, this 25 minutes gets its own damn star. I'm sorry, but it is. And I just really... I could see watching the film again. And, get into the story and get into the characters. And like it gives you your payoff. Now, does it dot the I's and cross the T's? No. The last guy, I wish he would have just at least a little bit of that. But other than that, it was pretty damn satisfying, I gotta admit. And it's been a while, man. It's been a while since an action. Like, I like The Beekeeper. I did like that movie. And that one, I thought, worked a bit better on the pacing. It had more action, more fights in it. I'm not really big on that lady FBI agent, but I probably would put that above this. But this one was more of a nice surprise. And yeah, it's definitely one of my favorites of the year, by far. By far. I mean, I don't know what the list would be for favorites of the year, but there's films I've liked. Beverly Hills Cop 4, The Beekeeper, this film. I liked Deadpool Wolverine. I liked, some Spaceman, a few other films. Maxine I saw recently. I didn't mind that film. But shout out to Jack Thompson, not just for the paid request, but for letting me know that this film existed. And like I said, this was a nice surprise. Really liked that. So thanks for watching. Thanks once again to Jack. And we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.